I kind of just look for the right sounds. So I picked certain people that I know can make that sound and make that happen. I wanted like people to like take different things from the EP. Like me personally, I know there's like so many things I could take from the EP, from like references to soccer players to like my own beliefs and like. What's up? It's LottoTheKid. You're watching Artist Spotlight with Branch Out Visuals. So the name, okay. So it came from obviously lottery, but I was in Chicago recording one of my first like I guess collab albums with T Blossom, and I was going under a different name at the time. I actually had Ice Climber, and I was wondering like I want to change that name, and I was like uncertain of what I was gonna make it. And then me and Tyler were talking, and he was like, "You should do like Lotto," and I was like, "Lotto, I like that." So we were coming up with different names. We were like Lotto Mercado, Lotto this, Lotto that. I liked Lotto Mercado. That was gonna be one. But then I was like, nah, the kid. And we were like, yeah, LottoTheKid, and it just stuck. So after that, I just kept using it. Yeah, that's a good question, because it honestly, like, it ranges. You know what I mean? I feel like I found myself listening to, like, Joey Badass. Like, those were definitely one of the first people I was listening to. Joey Badass, I always liked his style, his beats. I like that chill, laid back kind of vibe. And then I really liked, a lot of Big L and like Biggie Smalls coming up. And then I really like the newer stuff. I like Young Thug, Future, you know what I mean? And recently, I found myself recently getting more inspired by like Navy Blue, Sky YL, Starker, production from like The Alchemist, Harry Fraud, like Conway, Griselda. Like there's so many different genres too, not only hip hop. Like I found myself liking like other artists from like salsa, like old salsa, like Tony Vega and people like that. Like I don't know, like Frankie Ruiz. Like there's so many, but Ruben Blades. Like there's so many good artists out there. Like I just like their sound, like how they use the live instrumentations and just the songwriting. It was really, I always liked that stuff. It always inspired me. Oh, another one. Soul artists too, like the Manhattans. Like I really like their stuff. I think there's another group, the Notations. I find myself just shuffling on Spotify, so that's how I find them. Right. But yeah, the Manhattans for sure. I always like. There's this one. I think it was like "Wish You Were Mine." It's like one of my favorite songs. I'm like, oh my gosh. Ooh, that's extremely important. I find myself before I used to kind of just I didn't know what my style was really. So I found myself just kind of like hopping on any production. You know what I mean? Like just finding any beat, anything. But now I feel like it's more like I have a purpose. So whenever I go into a setting where we're gonna make something, create something, I kind of just look for the right sounds. So I picked certain people that I know can make that sound and make that happen. So that's usually who I stick with. Like I mainly stick with like Janin, Swad, King, like those three right there. Like I feel like we all kind of just get along in that way where we've been working for so long that it kind of just comes more naturally now. And so I think we kind of have it figured out in terms of like a sound that we're going for. Hand of God, oh my gosh. Yeah, so that came out, we started that back in like November. And so me and my buddy Janin, shout out Janin, he was always producing and I was always writing. And around that time it was like the World Cup. So we kind of just got a lot of inspiration from that. And I was thinking about like older players that like legendary players like Maradona, Didier Drogba, Wayne Rooney. So I was just like kind of like throwing those kind of guys in on songs and just like coming up with raps. And we just had like the beats, and I love the sample. I love the loops. I just love the direction of where that was going in. So I just continued to work on it, and we were just coming out with songs. I was sending him demos, and he was like, he really liked that. And then I would record more, and when we took it to the studio, we got it mixed by Swad. We sat down for that for a while, just making sure like the sound was right, the beats sounded leveled, everything was sounding correct, you know. But I feel like a lot of inspiration came from like The Alchemist. A lot of like inspiration came from like West Side Gun, like that kind of energy. I feel like, and at the same time, just coming through with my own style and like finding my own sound on this EP, which I feel like I did, and I feel pretty proud of that. Yeah, so in the studio actually, when we were mixing it down, it was just the verse, so it was only like a minute long. The song's short to begin with, but like I was thinking like no, like I needed like something on the outro, and we were thinking like who should we put on the outro? Should we do like another verse? Should we do another hook? What should we do? And I just thought of my grandma. Like this whole time when I was making this project, I kind of like dive into like my roots and dive into like my own like idea of like a greater being out there. And so I was thinking like nah, like someone who's always like late, like giving me like wisdom, giving me like feedback, giving me knowledge in my life has been my grandma. So she was definitely like one of my biggest like inspirations making this. So I was like nah, I need her on the phone. So I called her up. We were in the studio and I just had to talk. I said, listen, just say a few words, give us your blessing, whatever you want to do. Just say something that's going to inspire us. And I just had her talk, and she just literally in one take. Everything you're hearing on that like outro is one take. It's just her front to like from the beginning to the end, just going off. And I was like, I wanted like people to like take different things from the EP. Like me personally, I know there's like so many things I could take from the EP, from like references to soccer players to like my own beliefs and like just like that whole greater power thing, and just like just trying to find that inspiration, that spark that you need in life. I feel like there's times where we're down, we don't really know like what's going on, and we never really do, and that's the beauty of it all, you know, that's the beauty of life and shit. But I feel like when you can find something that gives you inspiration like that, it's moving, you know, it's powerful. So that's how I felt when I was making this. When I think about 5 years, probably touring like different parts of the world right now. I want to keep consistently dropping music, merch, like starting my own website, like building brands, starting a couple companies actually. So just big things, you know, just and starting today, you know, like don't just say like you're gonna do it in 5 years and it never happens. Like you got to start now, you know, make that happen, and it's gonna happen. Yeah, right now, I'm sorry, Shake Shack. I'm gonna have to go to Shake Shack. That's like the only thing that's been on my mind lately. I've like ordered like it's like the shack, the stack. I don't know. It's got like mushrooms in it, and it's like almost like fried, and like it's got cheese in it. I was like, okay, that's the one. Mixed in with the burger, I was like not expecting that. You know, culinary arts. You know. Yo, it's LottoTheKid. You've been watching Artist Spotlight with Branch Out Visuals. Go stream Hand of God, the EP, streaming on all platforms.